Anime is a hugely popular medium, and while games based on anime haven't always had the best track record, there are several real gems. So for all you anime fans out there, here are 10 of the best, from Naruto to Demon Slayer and so much more. First up is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot by CyberConnect 2. If you're an old man like me, you might remember the fantastic Legacy of Goku series on the Game Boy Advance. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is a modern 3D version of that formula. Its art style captures the anime series better than most other DBZ games before it. You have free reign to fly through the world as you please, and it delivers a fantastic retelling of the Z story with incredible cutscenes. It's not perfect, the combat can feel a bit repetitive at times, but if you're looking for a gameplay experience that embodies the lives of Goku and the rest of the Z fighters, then look no further. This is a faithful retelling of Dragon Ball Z that no fan should miss. And number 2 is Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy by the same developers, which is essentially a remastered collection of Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, 2, 3 and 4, giving you a complete rundown of the Naruto story. There is a newer release called Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, which has sharper visuals and more characters. However, it's a hugely underwhelming release that feels a lot like a cash grab, as its main story mode is extremely basic. At its core, the Ultimate Ninja Storm games are arena fighters that are aimed more towards the casual fighting game fan, and it's incredibly easy to pull off staple moves from the show. Overall, these are the best Naruto games around that offer a ton of playtime for a low cost. Coming in at number 3 is Demon Slayer The Hinokami Chronicles, which is once again developed by CyberConnect 2. The story mode is a mix of explorable areas with arena-based battles, concluding around the Mugen Train arc. While the explorable areas faithfully recreate the different locations from the anime, there unfortunately isn't a ton of interactivity to them. What the game really excels at though is matching the visual spectacle of the anime's best fights in video game form, and these are absolutely the highlight of the story mode. Even beyond story mode, getting to grips with the controls is a breeze, and you'll be pulling off stylish moves with ease. The combat doesn't have a ton of complexity, but it is pretty fun and engaging. And number 4 is One Piece Odyssey. There have been a lot of One Piece games over the years, but Odyssey might just be the best of the bunch. It's a turn-based RPG that revisits 5 arcs from the anime and includes a new island called Wofford with some original story content and characters. For newcomers to the series, Odyssey might be a bit confusing at times, but for longtime fans, it offers a nostalgic trip down memory lane. Artistically, it captures the anime fantastically, the world and characters are brought to life in 3D form perfectly. The turn-based combat mechanics resemble rock, paper, scissors, technique beats power, power beats speed, and speed beats technique. For the most part, the combat isn't overly challenging, but it is fun and a refreshing change from typical anime games. As great as the previously talked about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is, it's not a competitive experience. That's where Dragon Ball FighterZ shines. It's an exceptionally well-designed 2D fighter that caters to both casual and veteran fighting game fans alike. Unlike Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, its story mode isn't a typical retelling we've seen so many times before. It features an entirely original plot that focuses on Android 21, a brand new character designed by the late Akira Toriyama himself. Developed by Arc System Works, renowned for titles like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, it has some extremely stylish visuals, balanced gameplay, and offers plenty of depth that rewards skillful play. Over the years, there has been a ton of DLC characters released, bolstering the roster with even more iconic characters and forms from the anime. Next up is Attack on Titan 2, a hack and slash game to one of the best anime of all time. The base game covers the events of Season 1 and 2 from the perspective of an unnamed character, so unfortunately doesn't cover the entirety of the now completed anime, and some of these cutscenes are directly lifted from the first game. The Final Battle DLC somewhat mitigates this by covering the story up to halfway through Season 3. Regardless, Attack on Titan 2 is a meaningful improvement upon the first. It really captures the thrill of using the ODM gear and engaging in Titan slaying action. It's fast, fluid, and rarely ever frustrating. While it may not be the best way to experience the story, and occasionally feeling repetitive, the sequel makes a number of quality of life improvements that makes for a pretty enjoyable experience, particularly when played online with friends. While I think One Piece Odyssey is a better looking and overall more interesting One Piece game, Pirate Warriors 4 encompasses the huge series much better, making it a more accessible game for those less familiar with the anime. Pirate Warriors 4 is a Musou game, when you'll run around smashing hundreds of enemies like it's child's play. And, as with any Musou game, there are a ton of characters to play as. In fact, there is an impressive roster of 61 characters to choose from, including those added as DLC. The story mode does its best to cover a lot of ground from the anime, but understandably, it condenses the plot, skipping some of the smaller arcs and details. Ultimately, Pirate Warriors 4 is an exhilarating experience, suitable for both new and long-time fans. And number 8 is My Hero One's Justice 2, based on the popular anime My Hero Academia. This 3D arena fighter covers the Provisional Hero License Exam arc to the Shi Hasakai arc, so there is an expectation that you have watched the series before or played the first game. What is interesting though is the story mode is playable from both the hero and villain viewpoint, which is an interesting addition. While not super unique, the combat is fast paced and flashy, capturing the high energy battles and unique quirks of the characters. In comparison to the first game, there is a much larger roster, improved visuals, more customization options, and deeper combat mechanics. Next up is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, an arena fighter created by the same developers behind the previously mentioned Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm, and Demon Slayer titles. Originally released back in 2013, the 2022 remaster was launched in celebration of the manga's 35th anniversary and the anime's 10th anniversary. The remaster includes 9 new characters, refined gameplay balance, new moves and mechanics, enhanced graphics, an expanded story mode, new modes, and additional voice acting lines. While it can feel a little dated in some regards, the remaster certainly isn't lazy, and fans will appreciate the care taken to update and expand the original. And lastly, at number 10 is Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. This is an action role-playing game made by the same developers of the popular Yakuza series, and it absolutely shows. It features the same crazy action gameplay, a similar level of exploration, and even similar types of silly minigames thrown in. Melding Fist of the North Star with Yakuza style gameplay really is the perfect match. They fit together extremely well. Being an older anime from the 80s, it's going to be lesser known than the rest on this list, but the game does a pretty good job of introducing the world, story, and characters. So there you have it, 10 fantastic games based on different anime. While not released at the time of recording, I'd also like to highlight the upcoming Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which is shaping up to be not only one of the best Dragon Ball games ever, but potentially one of the best anime games too. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for a notification each time I upload new content. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you in the next video.